Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Energize Live, where we make magic in the mornings. If you are watching live, welcome, welcome. If you are watching on the replay, please let me know in the comments. I love to know who's watching on the replay. Happy Monday, happy last Monday in February. We are making the magical morning cocktail this morning. We got stuff to talk about. I want to know what you did over the weekend. And yesterday was Subscriber Sunday. So my Inner Circle subscribers know what I did yesterday. And it was pretty awesome. So if you are part of the Inner Circle, in the words of Lacey Green, let me hear whoop whoop. Are you part of the Inner Circle? Let me know. And did you enjoy yesterday? I had a lot of fun sharing everything that I did yesterday with you on my Subscriber Sunday feed. So if you are part of that, whoop whoop, let me know, because it was a lot of fun. And if you're not, get in there before next Sunday, because one never knows. One never knows what I'll be doing on a Sunday. And it was a lot of fun yesterday. So this morning we're making the magical morning cocktail. I want to know what you did over the weekend. So why don't you tell me something in the comments that you did over the weekend. And then I'm going to talk about what I just posted for sort of the daily dose, the kind of the thought of the day. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. So the topic of the day, that I feel like that needs to be something we talk about, the topic of the day. You also know we're going to talk about West Wing, because I finished it this weekend. So we're going to talk about that. Okay, so tell me something that you did this weekend. Tell me something in the comments that you did that was fun, enjoyable, you liked it, cool, new, different, something. You did something. You did yard work. Was that fun, Hannah? Like, did you have a nice day and you could do that? Home improvements. Doesn't that feel so satisfying? I've got a little situation over there that my husband's working on this weekend. This house, it has some really pretty window shapes, but it had the most heinous blinds on it. Like, I can't even tell you. And when you move into a house, the first thing you're doing is not like spending an additional, with all the other things that you're doing, at least I wasn't spending an additional thousands of dollars on window treatments. So we're now a year into it, kind of starting to replace some of the stuff with some curtains and such. And so this little project he has this weekend, doesn't that feel so satisfying when you do like home improvement projects? I just think it's so satisfying. I gotta scroll back up here. Sectionals for your husband's high school wrestling team. So he must be a high school wrestling coach. Okay. But CM Mosler, I wish I knew your first name. It'd be so helpful on your Instagram handle if I knew your first name. If you could do that, that'd be amazing. What is it? Christine, Carol, Christy, what is it? Can you make your Instagram handle your first name so we actually know who we're talking to? Lori Ummer says, Mike is still tumor free. Oh my goodness. Lori, that is such great news. If you have been with Energize Live for a while, you know Lori. Lori actually came on live. Lori, that was when I was still in Indiana, so it was more than a year ago, and she shared with us her husband Mike's progress. They are cancer warriors, and Mike's been battling that for a while, and I love getting those updates. Lori, I'm so happy. What amazing news on a Monday. What amazing news. I'm so happy for you. Okay, we gotta fix this ice situation. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I'm moving into a new house. You ran your second half marathon. Beth, do you live? Beth, I don't know where you live. Are you in Florida on vacation? Do you live here? Because you say you're in Animal Kingdom. Are you here? Do you live here? Do you live here in Orlando? Windermere? And also, if you were here in Orlando yesterday, oh my goodness, the literal most gorgeous day. The most gorgeous day yesterday. It was so gorgeous. So sunny. The sky was so blue. It was just like, this is why I moved. This is why I moved. Among many reasons. This is why I moved. I'm going rearranging bedroom. You went bowling. Okay, C.N. Moser, your first name is Christine. Awesome. I need you to go change your Instagram handle so it says Christine Moser. That way we know who we're talking to. Bike shopping. Suzette, is it like a first bike, a new bike, a bike without training wheels? I'm so curious. Went to dinner with your husband without children. Oh, that's fun. Erica just threw down something. Erica says, I got engaged. She just casually threw that down. Erica, what'd you do this weekend? I got engaged. That's amazing. Erica, you can just tell us because we're among friends and your fiance's not on here. Did you expect it? Like, did you think it was coming this weekend? Was it a surprise? Tell us. Also, what's the ring look like? Sorry, we need to know. We need to know. Was this like a total surprise? Or are you like, yes, we've already ring shopped and like we know that it's coming? I'm always so curious. Feels like forever ago. Yay for weddings, right? Yay for weddings. Yay for weddings. Okay, I gotta take a drink of this. Katie Anderson Fit. It is 6:53. So it's 4:53. No, 3:53? 3:53? 4 a.m. where you are. Katie Anderson Fit, you're up with that baby, aren't you? You are up with that baby, and you turned on your Instagram because you are up with that baby, and you're like, well, I'll be danged. There's my friend JV. Well, we're happy to have you here, Katie Anderson Fit. I'm so glad that you're here. 3:53 a.m. That baby has you up right now, and you're like, well, if we're going to be up, then we're going to do some Energize Live. Good for you. Good for you. Okay. So, first of all, we do have to talk about Auntie JV. I can't wait to meet him this summer. I get to meet him this summer. I can't wait. Okay, hold on. Okay, some things quickly to touch on. Number one, again, just a woo-woo for my subscribers yesterday. We had so much fun. And I really hope you enjoyed Subscriber Sunday. I mean, it was the most gorgeous day to share what I got to share. And I mean, it was so much fun to share all that. So we even went live again. So anyway, Subscriber Sunday yesterday, lots of fun. So if you're not part of the subscriber circle and you're like, why am I not seeing anything on JV's stories? Because Subscriber Sunday is just for subscribers. And it was just the most gorgeous day yesterday. Okay. Also, Saturday night, I finished West Wing. It was a moment. So this weekend, this is kind of a cool thing because this weekend we are celebrating a year of leaving Indiana and moving here. And this weekend, my husband was in Marco Island. And he was in Marco Island because every year, this weekend, 3 of his best high school friends, he has this group of really tight high school friends. And I don't know if that's you, like, I don't really have that, but he's got this group of guys that he's been, like, actually all through junior high, elementary school, junior high, high school, like, they are tight. And every year, this group gets together in Marco Island and they golf, and he's never been able to go because of football, because we're deep into recruiting and spring ball and all the things. And it was pretty cool. This weekend was the celebration of us being here a year, and he got to go and be with his really dear friends, so that was super cool, which also gave me the opportunity to finish West Wing on my own and cry like a child without any interference from my husband. Okay, I could just cry and cry. So I finished it. I got pretty close on Friday night, but I saved the last 3 episodes for Saturday night. I watched the 3 episodes Saturday night, cried. Oh my goodness. It was just like, it was this whole emotional experience going back. And as I've shared, I watched that series in real time. We were obsessed with it then, but I've not gone back and watched all of it, in succession. And it's a beautiful thing. And now, because there are no commercials, and I got to watch all of it, just consecutively. And I'm on a mission now that if you have not watched West Wing or you have not rewatched it in a while, I'm on a mission to make the world do it, because I really believe that show is art. I think people get confused that art can only be a picture or a painting, and that's not true. so much can be art, including good television. Don't turn up your nose and be a snob at television, because good storytelling is rare and it's an art. And that's what happens in The West Wing. And I also think it's a beautiful catalyst to have some really cool conversations. So if you have not watched West Wing, you need to go watch it. If you haven't rewatched it, you watched it back in the day and you haven't rewatched it, go rewatch it. It's on HBO Max. And I just access it through Apple TV. Like, I open up my Apple TV, that's where I found it. And that's, so I don't know all the techie stuff, but I do know that it's housed on HBO Max. And my friend Laura sent me a tweet last night from an actor named Joshua Malina, who was on West Wing, who recently tweeted they were getting ready for a reboot. And I'm like, do not play with me. Do not play with me. Do not play with me. Because if you're rebooting West Wing, I will cry. I will cry. So we are going to Washington, D.C. next month, because that's where my oldest daughter lives, and her book launches next month. Woo, 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 woo. And we'll be out there from like a Saturday to Wednesday. I know we're doing a tour, some sort of White House tour and something else. But if you have any DC suggestions, particularly that involve West Wing references, I need you to send them my way. Okay? I need you to send them my way. So that is my thought on the West Wing. Has anyone like watched it, rewatched it? You know, I know I can't be alone in my obsession on this show. I cannot be. And just wait till you see the shirt that I have. I just said to my husband last night, do I cut this shirt and like make it a workout shirt? Or am I wearing this shirt at DC? Just wait. I mean, I'm so prepared. So watch it or rewatch it, and let it inspire you to tell your own stories, and let it inspire you to think at a higher level. I think that's one of the pieces that I got from it, even more so, that I am very inspired, more so than I think I was before. I maybe even inspired and reminded how much I want to make sure that I am around smart human beings. I want to have high level conversation. It's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about pushing, for lack of a better word, women to ask better questions. I think women discount how smart you are. I think women as a whole, I'm talking to you, me, all of us, discount how smart we are and take the easy way out so often. And shows like that, books like that, conversations like that, anything that's inspiring you to think at a higher level, it reminds you that you're really freaking smart. And personally, for me also, I watched the entire 7 seasons of West Wing. There's not one curse word in it, because it was on network TV. And that was a beautiful thing too. And also, I've always said, it always bothers me when people just drop in the F-bomb on stuff. And I'm like, that just kind of makes you sound dumb. And there wasn't one curse word in it. Not that I'm opposed to a curse word. Sometimes it is what it is, and that's what you need to say. But I'm saying I watched 7 seasons of a show, and the worst they said was asshole. And I'm like, I can handle that. I love me some Ted Lasso. I love Ted Lasso. I love Only Murders in the Building, but I don't really need to hear the F-bomb as often as I hear it on that. And I love those shows. I think they're both really smart. So it was just, again, a reminder that you actually don't have to have that. You don't actually have to have coarse language in something for it to be good. So anyway, it's really good. So this morning, I threw up a little reminder for you on my reels. Go take a look at it, because I had the honor and privilege of speaking to 2 really amazing groups of women this weekend. There were a couple of retreats held here. Orlando's a mecca for retreats, especially in the team body space. It's a mecca because they come down here, they rent these big houses. I'm doing a team retreat this weekend. We rent these big houses and lots of women can be in there, and it's really cool because we just need to get in space with each other. We just need to get in community space with each other and have these high level conversations, have high vibe conversations, and remind each other that we are actually very, very smart. And there's no point in taking an easy way out. So I had an honor and privilege of speaking to 2 groups this weekend of Team Body business partners who had come down to Orlando. And I spoke to one on Friday and one on Saturday. And we did some Q&A and I talked to them and whatever. And I just continually got reminded of this word swap that I shared this morning, kind of a thought of the day, tip of the day for you on this Monday, that we get into this groove of saying, I have to take my kids to swim lessons, or I have to go do these actions to build my business, or I have to, XYZ, fill in the blank. I have to. And I had a mentor share with me a long time ago, what if we swapped out that word for I get to? Sometimes I would say it too when I was teaching group exercise classes, and I loved teaching group exercise classes. They were my passion, but I would go, I have to teach this morning at 9:30. Do I? Or do I get to teach this morning at 9:30? I have to take my kids to swim lessons. Do I? Or do I get to take these children of mine to explore a new hobby, a new passion, to discover something fun to do with their bodies? I have to post every day to build my business or whatever it is. Do I? Or do I get to share something I love and believe in with other people? Do I get to share something that can change their life with other people? It's such a simple word swap that I want you to make that swap today. Every time you find yourself saying, I have to, let's swap out that word get for have. And it really becomes a choice. It becomes a habit. Right? And if you're around me for any length of time whatsoever, you already know that we're going to talk about mindset and we're going to talk about habits, because mindset and mindset work and choices we make and language we use and how we architect our life, that's all part of our habits. It's all part of our choices. And it's something we have to work on daily. It's a practice, right? Mindsets, choices are a practice. And how do we get better at it? Well, we get around people that help us get better at it. We get around people who push high-level conversations. We get around people who ask us hard questions. We get around people who won't let us off the hook. And those mindset shifts become a little bit more who we are. They become a little more integral to who we are. Everything is a choice. Y'all, everything is a choice. Did you hit snooze this morning? That's a choice. When you woke up this morning, were you excited to wake up this morning or were you not? That's a choice. Do you have to build your side hustle business or do you get to? How you think about it is a choice. And when you get around other people who are working on that mindset stuff, who are working on those choices, when you get around people who will ask you hard questions, that stuff becomes more part of your identity. Less something you have to think about and more part of who you are. It feels like forever ago. My daughter and I were just talking about this yesterday because Jesse called and I'm like, can you believe we've been in this house a year now? I said, it feels both like we've always been here and like we just got here yesterday. And some of you may know this story, but in May of 2021, it was April or May. It was nice enough that I was standing outside in Indiana. So, it was like April or May. My mindset coach, Brad Bizjack, and if that's a new name to you, don't you worry, because guess what? Brad and I are doing an Energize Live tomorrow, and you get to meet him tomorrow. My mindset coach, Brad Bizjack, he's my mindset/business coach, asked me a question. He's like, you keep talking about this move to Florida. You keep talking about it and talking about it. When are you going to put a date on it? I'm like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, when are you going to put a date on this move to Florida? And I said, I just kind of babbled about it. He said, no. What if you had to know? And he pushed me to put a date on this vision that I'd had all my life. Literally all my life was live in Florida, live by Disney. He pushed me. There's such value in getting around people who will push you and ask you the hard questions, who will say to you, oh, you keep talking about this thing you want to do. What are you doing to make it happen? Because you and I both know people, and it could be you, it could be me, who make these vision boards. I've got this grandiose vision board. I'm going to do this for my child. I'm going to send my kid to this school. I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to take a vacation. I'm going to retire my spouse. And it's a vision board. And how about we make that into real life? And in order to do that, you got to get people around you who will ask you those hard questions. And Brad was the first person who ever said to me, are you going to put a date on it? And I did. And the date that I put on it was September 15th, 2023. Check your calendars. Today's February 27th, 2023. We've been here a year. He was the first person to ask me. And the minute he asked me, and the minute I set some goals down on paper with a date, the game changed. My mindset changed. Now, that was a constant work because I continued to work with Brad very intensely. I did then. I still do today. Brad and I message each other almost every day because I need his mentorship. I need his coaching. I need his perspective in my life. Everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs multiple coaches. We talk every day now. And when I put a date on it, the universe started to conspire to make it happen. That was in April or May. I think maybe April 2021. I put a date on it. On December 1st, 2021, we signed the papers on this house. May, June, July, August, September, October, November. In 7 months, I made that happen. Not 2 years, in 7 months. Because when you get around people who push you to think at a higher level, who believe that you are smarter than maybe what you believe that you are, who believe you are more capable than maybe what you believe you are, and who ask those hard questions and who hold you to the answers. Not, oh, someday I'll do it. No, put a date on it. When you get around those people, your life changes. It just does. I was reminded, it seems silly, but I was reminded of that watching West Wing. I was reminded of that. I was reminded of that in conversations that I've had with my own business partners and with business partners who have a team body space. I was reminded of that as I was thinking about this idea of swapping out have to for get to. That it's all mindset, but mindset is a practice and a journey. And the people that you surround yourself with, the coaches that you need in your life, the mentors that you need in your life, they matter. Who you let in your ear matters. So I'm so grateful that when I turn on this crazy platform called Instagram, someone shows up. I'm like, my gosh, the fact that you share a little piece of your day with me, are you kidding me? Not for 1 second do I take that for granted. Not for 1 second do I take that for granted. That we can have these high-level conversations. And I'm always going to push you to think higher level. I'm always going to ask you the hard questions. And I'm never going to take the easy answer as the answer. Because I believe you're smarter than that and more capable than that. And maybe you just need someone to remind you, like Brad reminded me. Let's put a date on it and stop dorking around. Let's go. And when we did, everything changed. Everything changed. So I'm sharing that with you this morning in particular, because this morning we open up an opportunity for you to be part of a free 5-day mindset group that Brad is running. And if you have been with me for a while, you know that he does this every year. He does it a couple times a year. And, it's not an understatement for me to tell you that Brad's changed my life. That's not an understatement for me, because no one had asked me that question before. And I think that's so interesting that up to that point in time, no one had held my feet to the fire and said, that vision board idea is really cute, but what are we going to do about it? And the minute someone did, everything changed. So I know firsthand how crucial it is to get in these communities where people are going to hold you accountable to your goals and your dreams. And not because they just want to be mean. Because I think sometimes when people think about accountable, that's what they think. Like someone wants to be mean or be in charge. No. Brad asked me that question because he's like, well, you're smart enough and capable enough to figure this out. What are we doing here? And you get in these communities, you get in these high-level conversations with people who believe in you, who push you, who won't let you take the easy way out, and the game changes and your life changes. And here's the thing. If you have goals and dreams and you have a vision for the life that you want to create and live on purpose with purpose, you're a little bit in the minority because a lot of people think it's okay to just be okay. I don't think it's okay to just be okay. I don't think any of us were put here to be average. I don't think any of us were put here to be ordinary. I don't think any of us were put here to just be okay, to just be fine. If you're answering, how are you? I'm fine. If you're answering that, then you need to get in this group. Okay is not okay. Fine is not fine. Ordinary, average shouldn't be part of your vocabulary. That's why you're on an Instagram live at 6:45 a.m. because you know you want more and sometimes you just don't know how to get it. And I'm telling you from experience, I'm telling you that if Brad hadn't asked me that question, I don't know if we'd be here right now. I needed someone to hold my feet to the fire and ask me the question and stop letting me just say, someday. Would it have happened someday? Yeah. But guess what? It happened a hell of a lot sooner than if someone hadn't asked me that question. And on Saturday morning, I walked out of my house a year to the date after we left Indiana. I walked out of my house here and I could hear sounds from the Magic Kingdom. That was on my vision board. What if I had waited? What if I had never been in a place where someone would ask me those hard questions? What if I hadn't been receptive to it? What if I just would have been waiting for the right moment to do the thing? Well, I'd probably still be back in Carmel, Indiana, and I don't want to think about what life would be like if we were there, because we were navigating some tough stuff at that point, and a change had to be made. And you've got to be around people who believe in how smart and capable you are, sometimes for you to understand how smart and capable you are. So when you get off this Energized Live, number one, I need you to mark your calendar for tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Brad and I are going to be live here on Instagram where we're going to be talking about this amazing 5-day free mindset group that he's running. And number two, when you get off this, you're going to take yourself right over to the profile and click join, because I have a link at the top of the links in my profile, and you're going to click it. And I want you to listen to me very carefully. If you are very familiar with Brad and you've done this free success accelerator group before, this mindset group before, you're still going to go right over there and click join. Do you know why? Because I'm going to ask you this. You've listened to me talk about West Wing. You've listened to me talk about how I've watched it again. I watched it once. I watched it again. How many times have you watched a movie more than once? How many times have you read a book more than once? How many times have you gone to a place more than once? We do stuff in our life more than once, and we get something new out of it when we do that because we're in a different place. So I want you to mark your calendars tomorrow for 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Brad and I are going to be live here on Instagram, and I want you to take yourself over to my profile, click those links, and join that free 5-day mindset group, because you don't even know what you might miss out on unless you're in that room. Being in the room matters. You don't even know what you might miss out on if you are not in that room. So you've got to click that link and get into that community for that free 5-day mindset group. It's free. It's 5 days. Brad's going to teach and talk in there. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you go into that with an open heart, and I don't care if you've done it before, if you go into that with an open heart, someone, it could be Brad, it could be me, it could be someone else in that community, will say something that changes something for you. And you won't know that unless you're in there. So take yourself over to my profile, click that link, get in that free 5-day group. Stop dorking around and be like, I just don't know. What don't you know? What don't you know? If you are on an Instagram live at 6:45 a.m., you need to be in that group, and stop acting like you don't. Stop resisting it. Why would you resist your growth? Go get in that group. Every single human being on this Energize Live and watching on the replay needs to be in that group, because if you're on an Instagram live at 6:45 a.m., you sure as heck can get into a free 5-day mindset group. Stop resisting your growth. Stop doubting your power. Stop doubting how smart you are, and get yourself in places where people will ask you hard questions, with people who believe in your potential. And guess what? That's me. So get there. Because there could be a question that you need to have asked of you that could change everything. And unless you're in those spaces, you'll never know. You'll never know. I thank God every day that Brad came into my life and asked me that question. Because I don't know what life would be like had he not. And once you put a date on it, everything changes. So go get in that group today. Set your calendar for tomorrow, 4 p.m. We'll be back, all access, Energize Live. Brad and I will be on here tomorrow. And we got 2 more days of February. Just like that, the second chapter of this new year is gone. Just like that. That's what time does. And before you know it, it will be February 27th, 2024. And is it going to look any different? Well, that's going to be up to you and the choices that you make, and the people you surround yourself with, and who you let in your ear. So let's make some good choices today. As the grown-ups say, make good choices today. Go out there and get some tools in your life that will help you live your life on purpose with purpose. Happy Monday.